Yo, welcome back to the Shuffle Squad. Your boy Zach Lesage is here. How's it going? Today we're going to be going over Ting-Lu EX. Now, before I start off, I do want to give a shout out to Justin Basil and Zapdos TCG. Took a lot of inspiration from seeing some of their base lists. I think the general idea of this deck is pretty simple when it comes down to it. We want to be using Ting-Lu, slow down our opponent, no abilities in general, and we're going to be rolling from that. That being said, this deck's all about Ting-Lu for the most part. It's the 4-of card. As long as this Pokemon's in your active spot, your opponent's Pokemon that have any damage counters on them, no abilities, except for Pokemon EX. So since Pokemon EX are not like popping right now, there's not a lot of them. We've only had 2 Scarlet and Violet sets, Paldea Evolved being our newest one. There's not a lot of EXs that have abilities that are also being played that Earth and Curse is worried about shutting off. We're more looking about the Pokemon, the Radiant Pokemon, and other Pokemon that have abilities like Comfey, and other Pokemon that have abilities like Genesect EX and stuff like that. So we have to place damage counters on our opponent's Pokemon, but that's kind of part of the attack too. We have Land Scoop, we do 150 damage, and we put 2 damage counters on one of our opponent's benched Pokemon. So we can place the damage counters around, and we do have some ways to manipulate the damage counters on board as well. So we could place other damage counters on to immediately activate Earth and Curse with Hawlucha. So Flying Entry allows us to put Hawlucha down from our hand to our bench, put a damage counter on 2 of our opponent's bench Pokemon. So we can really shut off 2 abilities really quickly before our opponent even gets a chance to do much. We also have access to Radiant Alakazam. So a card that's seeing a lot more play lately. You can move up to 2 damage counters from one of your opponent's Pokemon to another one of their Pokemon. So we can kind of spread them across however we need them. Or if we've built up enough damage counters, we can find ways to use Painful Spoons as a damage modifier to get extra knockouts around. So our whole thing is we got the Ting-Lu, we're spreading the damage counters, that part's like going well. What else do we got going on? We got Koraidon. So we have a way to use Koraidon now. We finally have fighting support enough to make this work. Once during your turn, you can attach 2 basic fighting energy cards from your discard pile to one of your basic fighting, I mean, we got basic fighting Pokemon, in any way you like, and if you do use this ability, your turn ends. So this is a great way for us to turn 1, shut off our opponent's abilities with Hawlucha, Radiant Alakazam, and then Koraidon EX. Now, Koraidon EX is going to allow us to accelerate energies, so we can go turn 2 Land Scoop, and that's sick. It's going to work out, I think. Like, this has the makings of a very strong deck. We have to get the fighting energies in the discard pile, which makes it a little bit more tough than we'd like. So ways that we could do that are with Professor's Research. We could discard our whole hands. We have access to Ultra Ball. We can discard fightings from our hand like that. We can use Trekking Shoes. Those are really our big options. One of my options that I really like when it comes to this deck is the new inclusion of Squawkabilly EX. Now, Squawkabilly EX has, it's kind of like the new Dedenne or Crobat or whatever we have going on like that. So on your first turn, like Battle VIP Pass, only like, and you could pitch your hand and drop to 6. So it's like a mini research, and we could use it per Squawkabilly EX that we have. So we can discard fighting energies, get them in the discard pile, get our start on and poppin'. This deck should be relatively consistent. So Squawkabilly EX is a great way for us to discard our cards from our hands, getting fighting energies in the discard pile for Koraidon power up Ting-Lu. Our opponent's locked, we're good to go. Just for an insurance policy, we did add in a copy of Spiritomb. Now, I think Spiritomb's kind of sick here, because it should just give you a pretty good Mew matchup when it comes down to it. So its ability Pitch Black Disaster, as long as your opponent's, as long as this Pokemon's in play, it doesn't have to be active, doesn't have to be benched. Your opponent's basic Pokemon and V have no abilities. No Lumineon, no Genesect. That's enough there to really shut things off. I'm not sure what other basic Pokemon V there are, but you could shut off a Mew deck basically turn 1. So we have this as an ability lock card. Now, we are very lock heavy, so we have 4 copies of Judge when it comes down to it. Judge allowing us to just kind of ability lock, throw our opponent's hand into a blender, and we're trying to slow them down from there. The other new card that we have here is going to be Iono. So Iono allowing us to, it's like complicated to explain this card. It's like N, and if Marnie were mixed together. So each player shuffles their hand into their deck, puts it at the bottom of their deck, like Marnie, and then if you put cards at the bottom of your deck in any way, each player draws cards based off the amount of remaining prize cards they have. So if you have 6 prize cards and your opponent has 1, you're getting 6, your opponent gets 1. That's a way for us to brick it. Now, the reason why we play 3 Iono and 4 Judge is because we could play Judge early game, we could play Iono late game, and we could plan our knockouts around so we draw more cards with Iono and our opponent draws less. So I think there's some really cool aspects. One other thing that I did want to go over is there is another way to place damage counters on the board, and that would be through Gapejaw Bog. This deck is hard to find which stadium you want to play. So whenever a player plays basic from their hand onto their bench, put 2 damage counters onto that Pokemon, instantly activates Ting-Lu, instantly shuts off their abilities. Collapsed Stadium is really just a way for us to retreat and get knocked out, if that's the case. Like, I'm okay to us to discard our Pokemon before it gets knocked out. It's a pretty basic list, but I think it's going to be pretty effective. Again, in terms of competitive viability, this one does seem like it would be quite competitively viable in the right metagame. I think I'd have to see how it does against things like Lost Zone Box, and how does this deck fare against Gardevoir? Like, we can't shut off Gardevoir's ability. Is that enough to make our deck worthwhile or not? I'm not sure. We'll have to figure it out. But again, early deck list, I do want to like try to pump these out, make sure that people have an idea of what's going on in this format. Then we can make our own decisions once the set's officially released. So not necessarily saying anything for the deck, not necessarily saying anything against the deck. We'll see how it ends up going and really go from there. So that being said, I really hope you all enjoyed watching this video. Let me know what you think, and we'll catch up with you all real soon. Again, this is Zach Lesage from the Shuffle Squad, and we'll catch up with all y'all next time. Peace out and have a great one. The Shuffle Squad proudly uses Ultimate Guard products. We think that their Cortex and Katana sleeves are absolutely fantastic with to play in tournaments. And of course, they have a wide range of products that are simply fantastic. Whether you're looking for a new binder, playmat, or if you're looking for one of the Sidewinder deck boxes you might have seen one of us play with, be sure to check it out. They have their EU web shop, and it's available on Amazon elsewhere. Head on over to atlascollectibles.com and support the Shuffle Squad by buying some of their products. You could get a discount of 6% off of Pokemon TCG booster boxes, so you could grab from a large selection of sealed product, save 6%, or you could save 12% by using code TSS12 on all of their Pokemon TCG singles. Atlas has a large selection and ships worldwide, so be sure to pick up your Pokemon products there. Use code TSS5 at ptcgostore.com to save 5% off your order of Pokemon TCG live codes. They have a great selection of codes available from all different sets at competitive rates. They get instantly emailed to you, so you can use them right away to get all the cards you need to build that next great deck creation. Again, use code TSS5 to save 5% off at ptcgostore.com. Have you ever wanted more content from the Shuffle Squad? Well, we do have a Patreon account. You can support the Shuffle Squad directly by pledging towards our content, whether you want to get access to a special discount code from one of our sponsors, or if you want to have access to all of our deck lists, exclusive Pokemon TCG articles, and more. You can even chat with the Shuffle Squad in Discord. So this really does help support the Shuffle Squad getting to more events, and we do have some amazing articles for you to learn more about. Be sure to sign up to play in the Shuffle Squad's late night events. They happen every single Tuesday night at 12 p.m. Eastern and 7 p.m. Eastern. We have one that's geared towards more of an EU time zone and an NA time zone, but anyone's welcome to play. There's an opportunity to win a trip to Japan for the World Championships, so by all means, feel free to participate in these events for free. You could check out any of the links that we have available in the description. Get coaching from the Shuffle Squad on Metafy. If you want to improve your game on Pokemon TCG, you can absolutely test with the best. We have some of the best players in the world on our team. So whether you want to get coaching from Calvin or our current EUIC champion, Alex Szymanski, or anyone else that's available on Metafy from the Shuffle Squad, pick up some coaching today, become the best player you can be. Thank you so much for supporting the Shuffle Squad by watching this video. It would mean the world to us if you'd like this video, subscribe to the channel, and maybe even leave a comment. You can also click on this other video from the Shuffle Squad to continuously watch and support us. If you haven't got a chance, check out the description to learn more about our sponsors, and that could also help support the Shuffle Squad. Thanks so much for watching. Have yourself a great one.